Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time once again with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're playing Equality Cages 114. Now, the eagle eye amongst you might realize that I actually skipped one. I skipped 113. But once you take a look at today's puzzle, you'll understand why I really wanted to feature this one today. So between you and I, every time I came across a 3D Sudoku puzzle, I just immediately skipped it. Never really been able to wrap my mind around it, not really been able to actually sort of think methodically about them. And given we're committed towards solving those entire series, and I saw that 114, just the one that after the one we're meant to be solving, is a three-dimensional puzzle, I thought, why not? We're going to give this a go. Now, you may have also noticed that this is a bit of a dystopian-looking thumbnail once again, and really must have thought, well, surely this kind of dreary, dark-looking thumbnails are behind us, Sleuth, but once you see the title, you'll understand. I mean, it is Equality Cages, it's all about being three-dimensional. There's not a lot to work with here other than what I imagined here, which is a prison with tons of jail cells on multiple floors, the three-dimensional aspect of it, jail cells everywhere, metal staircases connecting everything. Yep, it's dystopian. Look away now. Let's take a look at today's puzzle. So we have Equality Cages 114 now in 3D, and this is a sort of a joint construction by gUBBLOR and Sniglett. Now, I don't imagine for 1 second you're going to be able to read what is in the rule set there on the right-hand side. I'm almost tempted to remove it because the font size is just too small. I can't read it. So I can't imagine you're reading it on any smaller of a screen compared to what I'm actually using right now. Now, if you do want to read the rules rather than just my normal explanation, as always, the rules are down below in the description so you can follow along a little bit more easily. But I think it's worthwhile taking a few minutes to dig through the rule sets because it is three-dimensional. And a big chunk of the rules here is purely about how the 3D aspect plays up. So first off, we've got essentially in here a 4x4x4 cube. So you'll notice every single one of these grids that are divided by this black line down the middle are 4x4. But the idea is these puzzles, or these grids, these independent grids, stack up on top of one another to create sort of another dimension to this puzzle. So normal Sudoku rules do apply in that, you've got the digits going, these have to be unique in the same row, in the same column, and in the same 2x2 box. But they also have to be unique in the same column, kind of vertical column, three-dimensional column. So if this cell, for example, was a 1, the same cell here, and here, and here, none of these can be a 1. Sorry, apologies. My dog really wants to go upstairs to sleep, so I'm going to pause for a second, take her up to bed, and then come back to my recording. One moment. Right, sorry about that. So, explain the three-dimensional aspect to it. Yeah, one more thing about this is each of these essentially 4x4 surfaces are made up of a different group of digits. Now, one of these groups, and I'm going to actually write them here, is 1, 2, 3, 4, as in all low digits. A second one of these groups is 6, 7, 8, 9, as in all the high digits. Sorry, just catching my breath. Kind of went up and down the stairs a few times there. Then we've got even digits, so 2, 4, 6, and 8. And then only odd digits, 1, 3, 7, and 9. Notice no 5 in that last example. So essentially there are no 5s in today's puzzle whatsoever. The other thing about this is that it is a one-to-one mapping between these groups. So once you've determined which one is, let's say, the even set, then none of the others can be using the same set of 2, 4, 6, 8. So that is something that I'm really interested in, looking forward to actually trying to solve. Right. Anything else about the 3D aspect of this? I think I've covered everything. Yeah, one more thing. So normally I use, where is it? The conflict checker. Because it normally stops me from making like very silly mistakes or typos. But I've deliberately switched it off, which is the recommendation here from the constructors, which you can understand because this is still like a sort of a normal 9x9 grid with the blackouts really in row 5 and column 5. So this would probably trigger the conflict checker, but might actually, or more specifically this and this, would trigger the conflict checker because it would appear as if they're in the same row, but they're not, because obviously they're on different surfaces. Right, on to the rule sets. So first off, we've got equality cages. So remember, all of the cages that we have here are equality cages. And cages must have an equal number of low digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, and high digits, 6, 7, 8, 9, as well as an equal number of even digits, 2, 4, 6, 8, and odd digits, 1, 3, 7, 9. Digits may not repeat in a cage, and the letters that are there are for identification purposes only. So it helps you connect across the different three-dimensional surfaces which equality cages are meant to be together. For example, this C cage is actually a 6-cell C cage across these 3 layers. So you can think of this as the bottom layer, this is the second to bottom layer, this is the second to the top layer, and all of these are connected in a sort of three-dimensional cage that needs to follow this equality cage rule set. Now, each of these layers has an addition invariant on top of it. So the top left layer has in-between lines. Imagine this is indeed from 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you take a look at this one, that implies that these are from 1 and 4, these are from 2 and 3, to make sure that the in-between lines are indeed between the digits in the 2 circles. Then we have Dutch whisper lines. On the orange lines, that means an adjacent digit along each Dutch whisper line must have a difference of at least 4. So imagine, well, that's a terrible example. If that was a 6, let's imagine that this is actually an even set. This is 2, 4, 6, and 8. Then this would have to be, for example, an 8. This would have to be 2 and 4 to make sure that they are indeed 4 apart. At least the neighbors are anyway. Then we have thermometers. So we've got essentially bulb ends. They have to be the lowest digit. And as you get away from the bulb end, that needs to basically increase. If this was 2, 4, 6, and 8, you can see this particular thermometer is forced. It is 2, 4, 6, and 8. The digits have to increase as you get away further from the bulb end, and that would be a valid setup. This couldn't be a 2, for example, because that would be the lowest available digits, and that would have broken that thermometer. Lastly, in the bottom right, we have the rem bands. These are the purple lines. It means that they need to be consecutive. I'm going to have to use a different set. Let's use 1, 2, 3, and 4. If that was, for example, a 1, then you know that these have to be from 2 and 3. They don't have to be consecutive. It just needs to be a consecutive set. So in any order, and that doesn't have to be a 2 and a 3. It could be literally what I just showed you, 1, 3, and 2. Right. Only thing left to say now is, well, if you're feeling brave, if you feel like facing up to that dystopian jail cell that you saw in the thumbnail and come away conquering this particular puzzle, link will be in the description down below for you to play along as usual. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. So I'm kind of a little bit almost ashamed to say, I feel like I've started to do a partial solve there when I was showing some of the examples when explaining the rules. Because actually that thermometer and that in-between line, and in fact, this C cage, they're all right now very interesting to me. In fact, and even the Dutch whisper line, like I had that example where this was 6, 7, 8, and 9, and that immediately broke. That just wasn't going to work. So let's try up here. And what I'm going to do briefly is just write down the possible sets. This, by its nature of it being a Ramban, has to be from 1, 2, 3, 4 or 6, 7, 8, 9 because I need consecutive digits. The second I pick one of the parity ones, as in only even digits, well, without odd digits, there is no way I'm going to have a line or any parity line, even if it's 2 long, not just 3, where there are 3 consecutive digits on there. That's just not going to work. So this set is absolutely from one of these, either lows or highs, kind of for us to figure out. And that's true for the Dutch whisper line. If I went for 2, 4, 6, and 8, or 1, 3, 7, and 9, no, sorry, I meant to say it is definitely a parity one. Excuse me, I got this totally wrong. If I went with 1, 2, 3, and 4, well, how am I going to create anything that is 4 or more away from even the most extreme digit? The 4, the maximum it can be further away from anything on here is a 3. So essentially the Dutch whisper line set has to be from 2, 4, 6, or 8, or 1, 3, 7, and 9. And I'm even looking at this even set, and I'm thinking that's too close. Because you see, with the even set, the only 2 digits that are extreme enough to be in the corners are 2 and 8. Because if you try and put 4 in here, well, 2 is too close, 6 is too close. The only digit that is far enough away on the Dutch whisper line is the 8, and you can't have double 8. And the same will be true for the 6. That can only ever be, it can't be the 4, it can't be the 8. These would both break the Dutch whisper rule. It's not 4 or more away. Only the 2 can. So if this is even, which I'm casting doubts on, it will be from 2 and 8. And then these would have to be from 4 and 6, 4 and 6, 4 and 6, 4 and 6. I'm sort of slowly persuading myself that this might be possible. Could I make this work? Yeah, I can't. Short answer is no. Because this is 2, 8, and this is 2, 8, the extreme digits would have to be in the corners. It doesn't matter. Let me just sort of demonstrate this. Let's say this is the 8 and this is the 2. Now, 4 is simply too close to the 2, and 6 is simply too close to the 8. The only pair that would work would be 2 and 4. And because this is a 2, this would be a 2, this would be a 4, this would be a 6. Now what do I do with this corner? I would have to put in a 4, 6, which is obviously going to be next to another 4, 6. That's just going to immediately break. So the top right-hand side, really long way of saying this, has to be the odd set of 1, 3, 7, and 9. Wow, okay. And that means I have odd digits. I'm just going to color this for a second. And therefore, I need even digits in here to make this work. So these are from 1, 3, 7, and 9. The challenge, of course, with 1, 3, 7, and 9 is even the ones in the middle, the 3 and 7, would actually work. I could have a 7 surrounded by 1, 3, or a 3 surrounded by 7, 9. Both of these would work. So I can't actually determine what is the content in here. All I know is that maybe it's 2 lows and a high, or 2 highs and a low. Sorry, I'm just taking a minute to process what else does that mean, and I'm really not sure what else there is to be said. Okay. So that was the Dutch whisper line, and I mean, we really need to look at these. Let's start with this thermometer. So this thermometer, I'm actually tempted to use colors to start. Because what we know is this is the lowest digit from the set. So I am going to just use blue, green, yellow, and red. Now, if I just kind of think about what are the options for these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Remember, the odd set is gone. So the last remaining option is 2, 4, 6, and 8. Now, what I need in here, if I just think about, this is essentially the blue cell, that's the blue option. This is 1, 2, and 6. This is 2, 7, and 4, and I think that immediately helps us, because none of these can be odd. We need evens to counteract this, so the 7 option can't be available. This option is gone. So essentially, we're talking about this set of options, then 3 and 6, and then finally 4 and 8. And these two have to be the same polarity. No, do they? They don't. No, they don't. Because I know that I have, let's say, 2 lows and 1 high. Nothing stops me from having, 1 low, 1 high, and this one being, yeah. So ignore what I was about to say. That was just nonsense. I can take this further, though, with this thermometer, in that just take a look at where does 1, 2, and 4, 8 go in here. Well, clearly this is the lower of the two. This is the higher of the two. So this is the red one. This is the blue one. These are now blue or green. Well, it can't be blue because there's nothing lower than blue. So this is blue, this is green, this is blue. This is green, yellow, not sure now. So red, yellow. This is red, yellow. This is green, yellow. This is not helpful. Okay, I'll probably pause here for a second and just take a look elsewhere in the grid. So this is a parity. This is odd. This is either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 2, 4, 6, 8. I shouldn't have deleted these. So it's either this set or this set. The high set, the 6, 7, 8, 9, is still not placed anywhere. I should probably think around. Let's just think about D for a second. Whatever D is, it's low. This has to be high, and it has to be from the opposite parity of this. So if this is 1, this would have to be 7. No, this would have to be 6 or 8. So that can still be 1, 2, 3, 4, and this could still be 2, 4, 6, 8, unfortunately. The other possibility is this is 2, 4, 6, 8, and this would have to be 7, 9. I don't think that's possible, is it? No, it is, because the last set that is available is 6, 7, 8, and 9, and I can easily use that set in here to go. And in fact, I have to use that set in here. I have to use one of 1, 2, 3, 4 or 6, 7, 8, 9, again, because of the Rembrandt line. Can't use a parity. Can't use 2, 4, 6, 8. So this is an interesting question. If this is 2, 4, 6, 8, that would be a 2, that would be 7 or 9, and it will have to be from 6, 7, 8, 9. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, remember this still needs to be from a contiguous set. It is still 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is always 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just going to write that down so I don't forget. So this is that set gone. And then essentially I have one of these two in here as well. We'll figure out which one it is in a second. Maybe these equality cages can help us now. So let's think about the C cage for a moment. We need an even digit for sure in here. This is 6 and 8 from the 6, 8, 7, 9. This is on a Remban and therefore has to be an odd digit next to the even digit. This is 709. If you take a look at whatever A is unique. And this is, this helps us. I don't know, I didn't look there earlier. That can't be 8, because that implies I need a low odd digit. Look at the set of digits that I have to work with. A has to be 4. So this is 1, 4, or I really 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's 1, that's 2, yep. I don't know if I need the colors anymore, if I'm honest. So I am going to lose them in here. Might reuse them to actually think about the in-between lines. This is from 2, 4, 6, 8. And I can do better. This is 2, 8. This is 4, 6. Just the nature of the in-between lines means has to be between these circles. This now needs to be a high odd digit. That's 7, 9. These are 6, 8. I think this 6, 8 is this 6, 8. So let me just lose that. This is 7 or 9. Not very helpful. Anyway, this is 2, 4. This is high. These are 2 lows. This is high. So I need, on this side, 1 low and 2 highs to make the equality cage work. So this is 7 or 9. Sorry, this is not 7 or 9. And these have to be the 7 9s. And that looks now like a valid equality cage. 2, 3 high digits, 3 low digits, and then 3 odd digits, and then 3 even digits. So that's looking good. This A here is sorted. This D here is sorted. B and E are not yet. So we'll need to tackle these in a moment. Right, what can I do in here? So these are from 7, 9. This is 6 or 8. This is clearly now an 8, because they have to be different on a Rembat line. You can't have a double 7. The only way to join the 7 and 9 is with an 8. That's an 8. That's a 6. That actually doesn't help me at all. That is a 7. That is a 9. That is a 7. That's a 9. Therefore, that's an 8. That's a 6. That's an 8. And we're off and racing. I mean, 6, 9. Oh, not needed. That was a 9. That's 6. That's 9. And I think the bottom right is basically done at this point. 6, 7, and 8. Lovely. How does this help us with anything? It does. The three-dimensional aspect of it. So the 9 in here tells me that this is not a 9 in the same spot. This is a 7. This is a 9. This 1 tells me that this is a 3. It's not a 1. This is a 1. Oh, it's coming together now. I love it when it starts to sort of all make sense. This is 2, 3. I'm just completing the column. This is 2, 3. This is 1. This is 3 or 4. This is another 3 or 4 in the row. This is 2, 3 or 4. Which means this has to be a high digit. So this is 7 or 9. Dutch Whisper means this is a low digit, this is a high digit. The fact that there are no 5s in here makes the Dutch Whisper line pretty easy. I don't know what B is. Oh, we do. These are 1 3s. Therefore, this is a high digit for the 1 3. A high even digit, which is quite easy to achieve in here because this is now 6 or 8. That's this, yep, this 9 helps me to disambiguate. That's a 7. That's a 9. 9, not 8. Yeah, I can just do a bit of Sudoku. That's 9, therefore this is 7. This is 1. This is 3. This is 1. 1s you can see now are forced in here. That's 9. That's nope. That's 7. That's 3. That's 3. And I'm hoping this will help me resolve some of these. Yep, this 3 gives me a 4, a 3, a 4. That 4 removes this 4. doesn't help me with my 2 3s. That 7 does with the E cage. That's an odd digit. That has to be an even digit. That's a 2, that's a 3, that's a 2, that's a 3. Lovely. Can I disambiguate any of these? No. 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 B, that's a 1. Nope. B, that's an 8. That is very helpful. That is a 6. I was looking at this thinking this helps me resolve it, and no, it doesn't. Sorry. Got very excited for a second, and it was just for no good reason. This is another 2 8. Just completing Sudoku. This is a 4. This is another 2 8. Okay. Literally, are none of these helpful 3-dimensionally? Apparently not. One thing, though, is this is a 4. And you're going to say, Sleuth, how do you know this? Well, I can't put an extreme digit in the middle of an in-between line. If that's a 2, well, there's nothing lower than 2. And if it's an 8, well, again, there's nothing available that's higher than 8. That's got to be a 4. And this is 2 or 8. And again, I just keep looking for something to help me break this 2 8 4 6 setup, and I'm just not seeing it. Which means one of these for sure is a 2. And no, I don't see it. I mean, I'm just going to say they are from 2, 6, and 8. So one of these could be a 6 for sure. Sorry, it's usually the case. You feel like you make a break in and you're kind of moving along fairly quickly, and then just you get stuck on really simple things. It's just 3D Sudoku, just how do you even scan for it? Well, this can't be an 8, but it doesn't help us because I don't need an 8, I only need 2 and 6. This can't be an 8 either, so it is a 2-6 pair. And they are different. So this cell, whatever it is, it's in here. Which means this is 8, this is 2. Why did I say it was 2? What was my pencil mark? Yep, this is 2. Therefore, this is 6, this is 2, this is 6. And I think we've solved it. 8, 2, 4, 8, 8. And if I've not made any mistakes, that's a 2 for the finish. What a beautiful puzzle. gUBBLOR and Sniglett, what a phenomenal puzzle. I admit, coming into this, I really didn't think I'm going to be able to solve it in under 20 minutes. And I'm just trying to sort of consider why that is the case. Sorry, that's Mrs. Sleuth just back, and therefore our dogs are very excited. So yeah, where was I going with this? So I think the Dutch whisper line helped immensely. The equality cages helped immensely. The thermometer helped immensely. And then I think it was just, I got lucky. I really did get lucky. I picked sets of digits in my explanation when I wrote them down. That just meant I immediately got the value of the Ramban means it has to be a consecutive set. This had to be a parity. Well, no, it had to be a parity, yes. So I think I got a little bit lucky, and hopefully that you guys did too as well. But anyway, hope that you loved the puzzle like I did and the video. And really looking forward to reading your comments. This is the first 3D one. If it catches on, I may feature a few more of these. And see you back for the next one. Bye-bye for now.